recording. So before the launch, we already have the list ready. It has Andy, Bob, Charlie, the name. It's dynamically coming from the function we just have in the Octopus. Here I have initial list, and when I call the initial list, it's going to call the function I have in my view, which is a for loop here, and going to dynamically keep looping from the list in my module. Like I have five cats here, and it's going to, for every cat I have there, it's going to create a list item and add the cat name as a content of that list item, and then we're going to add in those list item one by one to the list in our DOM. Right? So right now we have our list ready, and next thing is we're gonna think about how can we render the when I click the item inside here, it's going to do a event listener, and the event listener to all of them. When I click the item, it's going to now show the current cat I'm clicking on the right. It's going to render the detail of the cat. It's going to render the name, the image, and the number of times I click it. So that's going to do that next. So in our view, we're going to have a function render cat. Yeah, it's going to render the cat detail. And basically, it's going to take a cat, and it's going to, when I get the cat, it's going to passing me a cat object here, and what I need to do here is going to show the cat in my DOM. So it's going to be let's see. So in my div here, I have a empty display, and I already have those functions about like a show Andy. Let's just copy the show Andy here. Now let's copy that one. It's basically doing the similar things like a show Andy. We'll firstly have the we're gonna create few divs. I already have that one down here. Create elements for display area, right? I already have that. Let's copy that. Let's copy including the let's copy that here too. We're gonna have those things, right? So the first thing I'm going to have is let's comment that out. So first thing is create element for the display area. So we're gonna create few elements. We're gonna have the name element. We're gonna have the image element, and we have the counter element, the div element. Those are things we're gonna need to be added to our DOM, to be added to our display area. And then we're gonna set up this text content, set up the content of the element. Set up content. So the name of the content will be equals to, not going to be always Andy. It's going to be equals to the given cat's name, cat name, and the image will be not Andy's image. It's going to be cat the image, right? It's going to be always going to be the given cat's image. And for the counter, it will equals to not going to be equals Andy's click. It's going to be equals to cat the clicks, right? No matter how what is showing here, I want to bring it down to the DOM, and I'm going to append them one by one, append them to the div, and then finally append the div into my page. Right. So those are things I'm going to have. All right, I have my name, image, counter, and div. So this is the function is ready to prepare to render a cat. And remember, it's going to take the input a cat. Where does the cat come from? It's going to come from the model, but this shouldn't be any directly communicated from the model and the view. So it's going to be called from the Octopus, right? Like when I click a cat in here, it's going to call function in the Octopus, and which is going to call another function in the view, and also pass in the cat as object, to the view, and the view knows like you want to render a cat, and I'm going to run a function render to render it. So let's first add an event listener to those list item inside the list, right? So I have Andy, Bob, Charlie, David, and Effie. Those are the list item I have here. And when I render this item, I also want to render event listener to it. So can have before I append that list item into my list, I want to add an event listener to it. It's going to be a function click. Right? When I click it, it's going to run a function. I'm just going to put that function directly in here instead of putting that outside. I'm just going to put it here. Right. So it's going to use the ES6 syntax. It takes the event, and it's going to know like what's the current item I'm clicking right now. So try to console log e.target. See if it knows like what I'm currently targeting on right now. Let's try it. Click that. See it's console log my current item. When I click Andy, it's just showing the Andy's item. When I click Charlie, it's showing the Charlie's item. All right, it's using the ES6 syntax. If you're not familiar with the ES6, please try to get some help from either the tutor or by going back to the previous tutorial lesson about the ES6 here, right? You can also get some help from our tutor about the ES6 syntax. What I really want to do is not just console log in the target. I want to, when I click it, I want to call the function render cat. I already have it here, right? I already have it here, render cat. And which cat I should give it to it? Let me think about it. Should I just directly call it render cat, or? Yeah, I just need to call a render cat and pass in a cat to it. And which cat should I pass into it? I got the cat's name, and then I just going to go back to the actually not the render cat. Let's go into the function find cat. No, not find cat. What should I do here? Let's see. Render cat takes a cat, and I need to find that cat first. Right, so let's go. We're gonna have a helper function here. I have the cat name here. I need to find that cat. So let's have a function, helper function here. To that is a view. No, it shouldn't be in the view. Let me think about how should we separate it. Yeah, I'm gonna have a call function render cat, and which takes a cat. Where does a cat come from? It's gonna come from a function called find cat, and it takes the e.target, the current target, the text content. So find cat will find the cat for me in my list. And let's create that find cat in our Octoverse here. I have a find cat here. A find cat takes a cat name, takes a name, and it's going to looking for which cat it is in my Octoverse, in my model function. Find cat, text name, and looking for which one is equal to. So for all the cats of a cat array, I'm going looking for that cat inside the array. It's going to be if the cat the name is equals to the given name, then we just return the current cat, right? And after the whole function, just return maybe return null here. You cannot find it, or just return null here. I don't think it's gonna happen, but just in case it's just not finding the cat. But actually we're clicking the list, so it's never going to go to this case. Remember, like it's going to, when it find the cat, its name is equal to the cat in the list, and it's gonna return this current cat, and the return gonna stop the function, so it's basically not gonna go to the rest part of it. Yep. So when I click the item, it's going to call the function render cat. Render cat is this function here, and it takes a cat as an argument. The argument is going to come from the find cat function. A find cat function is a function into the Octopus, and this function will communicate with a model looking for the cat with a given name. And see if they're equal, and then we just return return the cat currently is looking for. Yeah, let's see if that works. Hopefully this makes sense to you. So when I click Andy, let's choose Andy. When I click Bob, I didn't hide the old one, so it just keep adding the new one. Yeah, we need to hide the old one, otherwise it just keep adding the new one. Alright, so in the render cat, every time when we render it, we're gonna clear it up to change that, set that to empty. So then we're going to we'll be able to add in the new ones to it. So before we append something to it, we're gonna clear it up. We're gonna display the inner HTML is equal to empty. Gonna clear it up, and then reappend things to it. Let's see it. Click Andy, Bob. Let's say it's cleared up and then re-render it. Let's say again we did the same thing we did before. Like before we use this syntax, we have things like in like 5 functions, like a lot of even listeners do a lot of stuff, different stuff. Right now we only have just one function, render cat, and it's going to handle everything for us. And it's easier to write and easier to maintain in the future. If I want to render the cat in a different way, I only need to change one function, change the render cat here. Otherwise, like if you're still using the old syntax, if I want to render the cat in a different format, maybe I want to not only show the image, I want to show the name on the right corner. I have to do it 5 times for show Andy, show Bob, show Charlie. I have to change it 5 times, change it to different place. If I have 10 cats, I'm going to have to change it 10 times. If I have 1,000 cats, I'm going to have to change it 1,000 times. But right now, all I need to do is I don't have to change anything. I can just change the render cat. And then they're going to do everything for me for all the cats here. And if I want to add more cats in my list, I can just increase the number of cats here in my model, and then when I load the page, it's automatically dynamically changing the list. Also, it's going to add event listener to all my cats I have here. It's going to save the time in the future when you're trying to extend your application. You want to make more cats here. You want to change the way your render is. It's easier for you to find what code you should change. Think about it when the application getting bigger and bigger, and it's not going to confuse yourself. Like, okay, if I want to change the cats I have in my list, it's easy. Just change the model. If I want to change the way the render cats, just change the function render cat. So it's going to be much easier to change your code in the future, right? Right now we have the image and have the list ready, and next step is to add event listener for the image. One click image is going to change the clicks here, number of clicks here, right? So again, we are going to have a add event listener when I create the DOM in my render cat. When I render the image, I also need to add event listener to it, and then when I click the image, it's going to do something for me. So I have my create image here, and let's think about it. Right. So I have my image here, It's looking for image set attribute equals cat image, and also I want to say image dot add event listener to it. Also it's a click, and when I click it, you should do something for me. Right, please do something for me. What I want to do here is I want to call a function in my octopus, and which gonna communicate with a model, gonna change the value inside it. All right. So let's see. It's going to when I click it, you please call function increment. We had increment function before, right? Increment, and which is going to just call that function. That's it. Just call that function. And we're going to create that function in my octopus. Function increment, and what it does is going to not just takes nothing. It should take something. It knows like which one I should increment. So I'm going to pass in the cat to it, so it knows like increment this the current this cat is this cat, not the other cat. It knows like which clicker I should add in one. I should touch with which item I should touch here, which cat I should touch here. I'm gonna pass in cat as an argument. So then the increment is gonna take the argument as a cat. Take the cat as argument, and we're gonna have a for loop looking for that cat and increment that one. Actually, yeah, actually I can use the find cat again, but it's okay. Just create it again. So we're looking for if this cat is equals to the cat. Sorry, the cat. Not the cat, the cats. Sorry, what I'm doing here. I'm for loop. So I'm looking through the whole list. It's not called cat. It's called the current cat. The cat I want to touch with. It's called the current cat because here I want for loop. I want to use the cat of cats. Right. So if the cat is equals to the current cat. If they're equal, what do I want to do here? I want to add in 1 to the cat. So it's going to be cat the clicks plus plus. And after I pass it, I just want to finish this loop, just return, or just have a break. It's going to stop the function. Yep, and that's it. Just a break. It's fine. Just break. I think that's it. Let's try it. So every time when I click it one, it's going to call the function increment. Increment going to looking for the cat here and adding 1 to the clicks. Let's try it. So click Andy. When I click here, nothing is happening. What? Let me see. Is that really calling this function? Let's try to change the increment cat by just console log. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Yes, it is logging something. But when I call the increment cat, it's not doing anything. Maybe they just not not cat name. No, this one. Cat of cat. Cat is equal to current cat. Let's see if they are calling this function console.log 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it is getting this 1, 2, 3 here. Let's do 2. Make sure it is really calling that. Yeah, it's calling the function. That for cat of cats, if the cat is equal to current cat, cat click plus 1, does it really go to this case? Console.log found it. Found it. See if they really found it. Yeah, they found it. So we actually found that cat, and then we add cat to the clicks plus plus. So then I getting. Oh yeah, after I increment it, I need to tell the and to re-render this current clicks here, because the clicks here gonna change. It's not gonna be 1. It's gonna be 0. I'm gonna re-render it. How do I re-render it? I just call the render. I can just call the render can again. Let's just call the render can again. So can click, and I just render can again with the current can. Let's try that. So Andy, yeah, it's increment. See, it's working right now. Bob, Andy, Charlie, David, yeah, it's working right now. So again, I just ending the one function and doing the things for us. It's any 1, 2 clicks, I will render the can't. And if we want to make it more like make a function more like separate those functions into smaller functions, we can do it actually better. So let's first add this to my GitHub. Git add dot git commit. Image is working. Actually, not image. It should be click image is working. Just want to keep my keep recording what I did here, and let's change it a little bit. Let's make it look even better. So for the render can't, actually I don't really want to change it too much. I don't want to make it too hard right now. If we want, we can separate the render can't into different functions, like render the can name, render the image, render clicks. And when I change the clicks, I don't have to re-render the name and image. I can just re-render the clicks. And also, I can separate the clear, this display the inner HTML equal to empty into another function called clear the display. Make a new function for that, because I want to separate them. I don't want to have a really long function. I want to separate it into some small functions. And in the future, when I want to just using the small part, it's easier for me, make it reusable. And also, when I want to change something, I don't have to touch the whole function. I just need to touch the small part of it. So, for example, I'm gonna have a function clear can't. It's going to be display. Do I have a display here? Yeah. Where is the display is created? Display. Where is the constant display is created? Let's remove this comments here. That's just for the old version. We just don't need them anymore. So where did I create the display here? In my view, right? Cat list. Yes, that's weird. Where do I define the variable display? Constant display? No, variable display. Where did this come from? Oh, I didn't define how it works. What? That's weird. How it knows it's going to end into the display? I didn't even have a display. That's weird. I didn't define it, and it can find it. Kidding me? How can I find the display? I didn't even define it. It should give me an error saying the display is not defined. Interesting. I don't know. Let's just we're gonna divide the display anyway. So have the constant display is equal to document the query selector, looking for the place with ID equal to display. I don't know how to find it. Maybe it's just some cache or something like that. But this is with normal. Right, so I have a display here. I'll have the clear cat. It's what it's gonna do is just doing this display the inner HTML equal to empty, and we're gonna call this function here clear cat. I'm gonna call the function clear cat here. Alright. So it's gonna separate, just doing the same thing, but it's just separated that into another function. Alright, and for the render cat, we're going to separate that into smaller functions. Like I have function render name. What it does, it just takes the cat and creates the name. I'm going to remove that to here. Create a cat name and set up the name equal to cat name, and append that to the div. Actually, don't have to do that. Just create name and any name to it, and we're going to just call the function render name here. So we're separating. We're not changing anything. Just separate into separate function. And we'll have the render image, have render clicks. I'm gonna have separate functions. I'm gonna separate those codes like a function render image cat, and basically just going to create an image and set up the attributes of the image, and also an even listener. All right. So we then we'll have the counter one. So function render clicks and the cat. That's two here. And set up the content of the so it's just getting a form of one really big function into some small ones, right? We're gonna change a little bit. This is render name. So render name, we're gonna give a let's see. Name is going to return something. Return the name. And this one going to return the image we just created, and this one going to return the counter we just created. And here it's going to say this is a name is equals to that. Not name equals to that. Yeah, name equals to that. Image is equal to that. Counter is equal to that. Let's have a constant. Not constant. Just using that. Right. So right now I can just get in whatever it returns and combine them together and make it into the div. Let's try it. Oops. Cannot read property name of undefined. Line 57. Name of undefined. Cat. Did I give it a cat? Oh, yeah, I need to pass in the cat as a variable. Otherwise, I don't really know which cat I want. Div is not defined in line 33. Div.append. Oh yeah, I remove the div here? Div should be here. Div shouldn't be there. Div should be just in here. Right. I'm gonna create an empty div and append things to it. It shouldn't be in the render clicks. Mistakenly click, copy it over. Right, it's still working. Still work. And we just separate the make a render cat function into some small functions. Small functions. It's easier for us to change in the future. In the future, if you want to change the way the name looks like, you just go to the render name function to change it. And if you want to change how the cat image is rendered, you just go to the render function, render image function to change. And for example, right now I want to add the pointer class to the image. So I just go to the render image function here. And I don't have to touch anything else. I just going to say image the class list the end pointer class. And I know it's not gonna break any other functions because it's only touch that function. If anything's wrong, I know where to fix it. Let's say I just add a pointer to this image. And if I want to change the how the name is showing here, like I'm going to go to render name function, and I can adding another class to it. Like name the class list, and we're gonna add in a class. We're gonna add in the text center. Right, it's going to move it to the center. Also, I want to move the image to the center, so it's going to be image here, adding a pointer and also adding a center. Just I'm not gonna do that. It's too much style, but just show you how it's gonna work. Alright, you can also move the image to the center, move the clicks to the center, or something like that. You should feel free to any styles you like. Yeah, so that's it for this project. I already separated it into the more organized way with a model, view, and octopus. It's not going to be the only way. It has to have a lot of ways to separate those cursors. Yeah, the idea here is just separation of cursors. One function should only take care of one thing. A model should only take care of how the data should be, and in the view, it should only care about how you want to render the things on the screen. And also, we want to separate it into different functions. The initial list, just worry about how to initial list. Render cat is all worry about how to render cat. Render clicks is going to worry about how to render clicks. And the octopus here is going to worry about how to map data in the model and like showing them on screen. And whenever you click something on the screen, how should I change the data in the model? So we're separating the concerns. Every part of the code is worrying about their own tasks. Okay, so let's send this to the GitHub. So it should be, this is really good code right now. Git add dot, git commit, and separation of concerns. I cannot type, just whatever. So git push it to the GitHub. Right, so let's go back to the video. So I think this is what they want from this practice. It's asking they should separate your code. Like before that, we have like a lot of event listener, and our data is everywhere, and our DOM is modified in every function. It's really hard to maintain in the future. So right now, it's much better. We separate them into different functions, different parts. A model is take care of data, and the view is take care of the DOM, and the octopus is just move data around, right? So let's go to the next one. I think they're going to provide a solution for this.
Now, I do want to be clear. There is no single one right answer, as long as you're separating your concerns. So rather than compare my code to yours, instead look at how my code is organized and draw inspiration from that. Now, to start out, I'll show you my index.html file. This is very simple. I have a UL called catlist and a div with an ID of cat. It has a cat name, cat count, and cat image inside of it. These things are things that the view is going to hook onto and update whenever it's being told to render. Let's dive into the JavaScript now. First, we'll take a look at the model. Now, in this case, the model is simply an object literal, with current cat set to null, and cats being this very large array of objects. Each one of these objects represents a cat. And inside of each of these cats, I've got click count, name, image source, and image attribution. Now let's scroll down and take a look at our octopus. In our octopus, I have the init method, which starts off the entire application. I also have a get current cat and get cat function. The view calls both of those in order to get the current cat or all of the cats, so that way it can render properly. We also have a set current cat function. You pass it in an object, and it sets the current cat equal to the object that you pass in. And lastly, we have increment counter. What that does is it takes our current cat and it increments its click count. And whenever that happens, it tells the cat view to render. Let's take a quick look at our view before we see the flow of the application. First, we have the cat view. The cat view is an object with an init function and a render function. I've separated these out so that way I can render it whenever I want to, but init only gets called once. For example, I don't want to grab all of these DOM elements from the DOM every single time we render. I may as well just do it once and store them here on the cat view. Similarly, I only want to add the click listener for the cat view once. Now the reason is because as I click between cats, over here in index.html, it just changes this information here. It does not replace the entire div. This div is always here and this image element is always here. So I can add the event listener one time, and then no matter what cat I change to, these elements will always be the same. They'll just have differing content and a source attribute. And lastly, in our cat view init method, we call this .render, which will update the view. What does render do? All it does is it gets our current cat from the octopus, which of course gets it from the model, and then we set the count element and the name and the image to the click count and the name and the image source of our current cat. Remember that these on the left hand are the DOM elements. So that's our cat list view. Render gets called over and over and over again, but init only gets called once. We'll see where that gets called in just a moment. Let's take a look at our cat list view. Our cat list view is actually a bit simpler. Here we have our init method, which only gets called once. We grab the cat list element from the DOM and put it in this variable here, and then we say render ourselves. Let's see what render does. We first get the cats from the octopus, which of course originally we'll get it from the model. Then we empty our UL, which lists all the cats. And then we go over all of the cat objects. And we create an LI, and we do all of the necessary stuff. That being setting the text content equal to the name of the cat, and adding event listener. Now here's my little closure trick that I had to do in order to make this event listener inside the for loop work. And you'll find that this is a common thing that you'll have to do. If you're adding event listeners inside of a for loop, you actually need to create a larger function, pass in your cat, and then return the function which does the stuff that you want with that cat. So ultimately all of this code says, when you click on the element, tell the octopus to set the current cat, and then render the cat view because it's changed. And lastly, add all of our LIs inside of this for loop that we've created to our cat list element, the unordered list of cats. Now let's run through this really fast. Octopus.init, this makes everything happen. When this gets called, the following things happen. We say, hey model, set your current cat property equal to model.cat0. In other words, the first cat in the list. And then we say catlistView.init and catView.init. We tell our views to initialize themselves. And then the views handle all the stuff they need to do without the octopus needing to get involved. Now, if you'd like to go over this code, you can find a link to it in the instructor notes. I would definitely suggest you dive in and see if you can figure out exactly how every part of this works. Then compare it to your code. If you want to go back to your code and make any changes, go ahead and do that now. But don't copy my code. Remember, this is not my project. This is your project. So only use my code as organizational inspiration. Once you're satisfied with your version of Cat Clicker Premium, go ahead and click to continue on.
All right. So by watching the video, you see like they have some a little bit different design here. So for our code, we have all the functions in the main scope, and they have like a variables like for the model, a variable for the view, and another variable for the octopus, and then they move functions as a method in those objects. And I think that's a better practice. So I want to change my code right now, because as I said, if you say like something is good, we're gonna change that. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna have a variable model. Actually, we're gonna using constant. Actually, let's using a constant here model, and we're gonna put we're gonna make it as an object. And gonna move the cat object inside as its as a what is that called? It's called a property inside it. Cat is one of data array I have in the model, And same thing for the view. We're gonna create a view is equal to the object and move things belong to the view inside it. Right, those things. Let's move those things inside it. Those are things for the view. We're gonna move the things inside the view. And don't forget you need to change the syntax a little bit. Remove the constant here. It's just going to be an attribute inside it. And this one is just it's going to be a function. It's going to remove the function call. It's just going to be the method inside it. I think I need to change the syntax of it to make it really work. So it's going to be initial is a function and doing that, and render is a function doing that. Is that how to change the syntax? I actually forget it. Let me take a quick look of how they did it.
Init.
Init and sorry, it should be cats and this column. I'm so stupid. This is object, so it's column. So it's just objects. Right, just objects. So it's going to be. Why still I have error here? Oh yeah, there's two objects. I have using command to separate them. That's different objects. Yeah, this is why it was complaining. So render click is another function. Have the command to separate them. Render can image is going to be another function. And now by doing that, we separate those different things into its own scope. It's not going to influence each other. So I have a clear can here. We're going to have a comma here, and this is another function. All right, and the same thing for the octopus. It's going to be another list. There's a lot of stuff here. That shouldn't be in here. It should have a function find the cat. It's going to be a function to help me find the cat. Function, and the increment is another function. Right, so I have a lot of functions right now. All right, so right now they are all just inside those different views, and all I need to do, how do I start the stuff? I'm just gonna call the initialize at first. I'm gonna call the initial list to start everything. So what I'm gonna do is here I'm gonna call view the. It's gonna move that to the bottom. Move that to the bottom. So we're gonna after I make everything, I'm gonna call view the init list to run that function. So init list going to run the function of initialize, which is here, and function cat. Should I change them into just a variable inside it? And that need to be those things that need to be the property of it. Just can stay as a variable. Let's think about it. Yeah, just stay as a variable. Not being an attribute. Let's display. So this is a function. When I call it, it's going to call constant li is equal to then any class, and it's going to call the function render cat. And the find cat is find cat is a function from the octopus. So we're going to call octopus.find cat. Find cat. Otherwise, you cannot know where to find this function. And then we are going to the find cat function. Okay, so cat of cats. The cats is in the model, so it's going to be model.cats. It's going to be a lot of error. Let's just start running this. See, JavaScript is going to tell me what error I have there. Let's just make it, just run it, whatever. Invalid shorthand property initialize line 14. Let's just fix them one by one. Line 14. It says that cat list is equal to document select query selector. Maybe I cannot do that. Let's just try to using this syntax. That works. Right. Cats is not iterable on line 18. For cat of cats, initial list takes a list of cats. Now this function shouldn't be in here. It should be in the, because the cats is a one in the octopus. So we are getting that one. We should getting that one from the because the view cannot communicate with the model. So this function, we should break that into two functions. One is loop through the list of cats in octopus and then render the list. We're gonna break this function into two. So we're gonna have a function called render list. It's going to be a function. And what it does is going to render this item. It's going to take the cat and then render this item depends on the cat. What it's going to do is going to just do the following stuff in the for loop. It's going to do the things inside the for loop. Let's just do the stuff inside this for loop. And the initial list, this function, we actually need to move that to the octopus. Octopus should be the only one who is able to communicate with the model. So it's going to be for cats of model cats. We run the function in the view the render list item. Right. So instead of calling view the initial list, we're going to call the octopus the initial list. And passing the model the cats. Here it shouldn't be here it's for the cats of cats. This cat is given by the model. Right, initialize the model cats. Let's say try trying again, see if there's any error. Line 25, cat list is not defined. So let's see. Cat list is right here. So it doesn't really know where to grab the cat list. So it's going to be this cat list. It's from the current scope. Does it really work? Yep. Right. So it does generate the list, and when I click item here, it's showing another error. Render cat is not defined on line 23. Yeah, render cat, it should be this render cat from the current scope. Render name is not defined, line 30. So it should be this render name, this render image, and this render click. We are separating them into different objects. So clear cat is not defined. It's the same thing. It's going to be this clear cat. It's getting the function from the current scope, the current object. Or you can just, instead of saying this, you can also say view the render name, view the render image, because this function are in the view. You can by calling this, is basically just calling the current object, which is a view. The image is rendered, nice. And when I click the image here, I'm getting another error. Increment is not defined on line 52. Because we move that to another scope, we're going to say octopus the increment cat. Right. Cats is not iterable on line 88. Right. So cat of where does the cats come from? From the the model.cats, right? Models.cats. Render_cat is not defined on line 91. It should be view.render_cat. Yeah, it works right now. So you will see in our in our model, we still only have a cat array, and in our view object, you will never see we call the model in here. We shouldn't call model at any time in the view. You cannot communicate with the model. And in the Octopus, it's gonna call both. It's gonna call both of them. It's gonna call when you need to render something. It's gonna call the view function in the view. When you need to get in the data, it's gonna call the data in the model. All right. So the Octopus is going to only one communicate or connect to the model and the view. And this is how it's gonna look like. Right. Right. So we will just git add this to the GitHub. I think this is the best practice I can come with so far. Git add dot git commit -m separate functions into different scope. Git pushes to GitHub. Right. This is my best version I come with about the cat clicker premium. Let's continue doing the video. Go the online tutorial. Let's go to the next one. It's a review time. Just click next.
At this point, you should have a well-built cat clicker. Nice work. Now I'm changing the requirements one more time. I promise this is the last time I change requirements on you, but I wanted to give you an opportunity to fly on your own. We're going to add an admin mode. When you click the admin button, it makes a new area visible with the cat's name, URL, and number of clicks. If I go in and change the name, say to Fluffy, and then I hit save, it should update the model with the new information. And of course, tell the views to refresh, which also hides admin mode. So what will you need to add? First of all, you need to add some HTML for the admin button and all of this stuff here. That'll probably involve a button here, some inputs, labels, and a form to contain these. And come to think of it, you can add a cancel button too. In terms of the model, you'll probably want a property in your model for whether or not the admin view is showing. You can set it to true or false with your Octopus function, and then based on whether it's true or false, the view will render this or not render. In your view, you'll have an init function, which you'll call once. That'll add the event listeners to all of these buttons here. Just for review, adding event listeners means we're telling these elements to listen for certain events. In this case, click events. So whenever the user clicks, we run the function. Now what about the Octopus? In your Octopus, you'll have a function for opening the view when you press the admin button, a function for closing the view when you press cancel, and a function for updating the current cat with the new values when you press save. We'll call this version Cat Clicker Premium Pro. Also remember that this exercise here is not meant to be super easy. Another thing to notice is that the layout of my application keeps changing. That's to emphasize the fact that we're not focusing on CSS. Your application doesn't have to look necessarily very pretty, just as long as the functionality is there. Once you're done, it won't be a ton of code. But if it takes you a while to do this, that's by design. Do remember that the more often you work with well-organized code, the easier changes like these will be.
I hate them. They just change the requirement again, so we need to make something new. Right, since they change the requirement again, we need to adding a new function to our application. We're going to add an AND button somewhere here, and when I click AND, it's going to bring up a form, and the form will allow us to change the current cat information in here. I hate it, but it's gonna just do it. So this is just how like developer like always follow the different requirements to change your code. The good thing is like we have a well-organized code. It's gonna be much easier for us to design stuff. We can firstly remove this class list at the end, text center. I don't want to have the name and center, just add at the, I just want it at the left side of it. Just add here. And we're going to create a button here, like allows me to go to administrator mode, admin mode, and allows me to change stuff. So in my HTML, I will have a button. Let's say I have a, we're going to change the layout. We'll have column 3, have column 9, column. Let's have this change this into column, instead of column 3, just column 6. And have a, not column 6, it's column 5. Let's have another column after it. We'll have this one going to have ID is equal to, not ID, I don't really care about ID. I just have a div here, and ID is equal to, let's just have ID here. What should I call it? I call it admin. And the class is equal to column 4. Right, we're separating like a 3, 5, 4, which is equals to 12. Yep. So in here, again, in the what are we gonna have here? And we need a button. Let's adding a button to in on here. It's gonna have a button here in the list. Button. This is admin. Yeah, after here in here, let's style it a little bit. Let's adding a class. BTN. Primary. Right, it's adding a button here, and we're gonna move it, add a BR here, move it down a little bit. Right, have it at admin mode, and when I click admin mode, it's gonna bring up the form on the right side. Right, it's gonna bring up the form on the right side. Whew, that's gonna be a lot of work. So this time I'm going to just make the form there and set it as to hide it default. And when I click admin mode, it's going to open it for me. All right. So let's have the form ready here. It's going to have the form tag, and we have different input, different div. Have a div, a second div. Actually, just doing them one by one. The first div is going to have a class is equal to form control. Form, is that form control or form? What's that called? I can't forget. Let's go to the Bootstrap, checking the syntax of it. I keep forgetting how to do it. Bootstrap. Take a look of the Bootstrap. Searching for the documentation. Form. Not form. Form. It will be form group. Yeah, form group. Form group. The first form group is going to have input. Sorry, not input. Label. Let's create the label first. This is for the name, for the cat name, and we're gonna have the input with a class equal to form control. And we'll type it in text, and you can enter anything. And we'll have let's see what it's gonna have. It's gonna have a placeholder. Enter cat name. And let's give an ID of it is equal to name. Right? So, and let's copy that one, create another form group. This is for the, what this is for? It's for the image, right? It's for the image. ID of it is just equal to image. Type, it can be anything. And form control, and this is going just saying HTTPS. Like that. Then we're gonna have another form group for the only have two, right? It's just I can only change the name and the URL. I think let's change let's double check the requirements. They can name the picture and the text showing the number of clicks. What? They can change the number of clicks? not this one. No, where is the input for change the kind name, URL, and number of clicks? Yeah, they can change the number of clicks. So we're gonna have another one for allow them to change the number of clicks. So it's gonna be ID equal to clicks, and the type of just number. They can only enter number here, and the placeholder will be number of clicks. Right, like that. So then we're gonna have two buttons here. Submit, and with a type is equals to submit, and we'll have another button. Oh, this is cancel. Type is it's just a button. Not gonna submit the form. Remember the submit button. The button had two different types. If the type of it is submit, it's gonna submit the form. And if a type of just a button, it's not gonna do anything. All right. So let's try it. Where's my code? Where's my page? Here. Here's my page. And when I click cancel, it's not doing anything. Number of clicks. When I click submit, it's gonna reload the page. See, okay, it's just refresh the page. This is default setting for submit. And let's style the two buttons a little bit, adding some class to it. Submit can we have class btn success, make it in green color, and the cancel will have the btn and the btn danger with red color. Add some color to it. All right, the form is ready. Where's my label? What label? Oh, I didn't add any text for label, so this is why it's not showing. For the first label, this is for the cat name. The second one is cat image source. Third one is number of clicks. So it's showing some text here, right? This is my form. And as we said, we're gonna hide it. We will hide it. We're not gonna show this form. So this form is going to have a class to it. And let's just add any ID to it. Let's say admin form. This is my ID. And in the main.js, all right. So I have an init list here, and this time we're gonna change it. We're gonna have an init function instead of an init list, and inside this init function, we're gonna call the init list function, and give it a cats, and instead of directly call the init list, we're gonna call the init. This cats should be model.cats. Cats is in the model scope. And we'll have init here. So it's going to basically, where is my form? It basically should do the same thing. Well, why the list is disappear? Init is calling Octopus the init. And the init is calling this int list model.cats. And it should render the stuff for me. Why is it not working? Well, where is my list? Come on, init list. Oh, this I forget the parentheses here. Right, it works, still working. Just put that in separate working because when I first start a project, start application, I not only want to initialize the list. I also want to initialize like the admin panel. I want to hide it. Right? Let me. Actually, I don't need the ID for this form. Let's ignore that. I already have an ID for this div. I just hide that. Let's give h1 here is my edit cat. This is my current form. So we're gonna hide in this whole part. So we're gonna say when I initialize it, I want to initialize the list. Then I want to say document say document the query selector and select the what I want to select here. I want to select the what is that again? Admin, right? The ID is admin. The right side column, it has ID equal to admin, and I want to change the style. How do I change the style with JavaScript? I forget. Let's take a look of it. JavaScript change style. Here is the syntax. Just copy that. Go back to my code. We're gonna change the style display is equal to hidden. I want to hide it by default. Every time I load the pages, I have to hide it. Let's try it. It's not hidden at all. Why? It's supposed to be hidden. Oh, it should be none, not hidden. What I'm thinking about, just none. Well, it's not showing anymore. It's none. Right, when I load the page, it's just not showing. And we're gonna have a event listener for this admin button. When I click that one, it's gonna show the panel on the right, right? I'm gonna show that on the right. So let's create. That is something about the view, right? When I click that, it's gonna show the list. So let's put that in our view. We're gonna have a show admin function. What it does is just going to what is should I say here is it's going to show the click panel. So it will document the query selector. Actually, I don't want to query select it again. Just showing. I just want to using the one I already have. Let's just put that put that one public. Not public. Make it like a global scope in the view. So where is that again? The query selector admin here. I just want to change that as a variable. I'm gonna make that as a variable in my view. So let's call it admin. Just make it as a variable here, as a property here. So I can just say this admin. Right, and in here in the scope here, I can just say view the admin style display now. So in the view here, that's the admin. The style display is equal to block. You can show it. Whenever I call this show admin function, it's gonna show it. All right, let's add an event listener to that button. Right, I can just add it to here. So I already have the button. Here. Okay, and on click. When I click it, it's gonna call the function show admin. Right, let's try it. This is still showing, and when I click show admin, show admin is not defined. It should call view.show admin, right? The show admin is in a view. Yeah, it's showing. Really, it's hiding, and when I click admin, it's showing. That's nice. And we still need another method to hide it. When I click cancel, it should hide this current panel for me. So let's have a function to hide it. Where is my show? I want to just end it after it. Show admin, copy that. Hide admin. Into none. Hide it again. Hide admin. Well, since I have the hide admin, I can, instead of just write this one in here, I can just call view the hide admin here. And when I click the button cancel, I also want to call the function hide admin. So I'm gonna have the unclick of that function. Hide view the hide admin. Alright, so let's try it. Admin, hide admin. Oh, it's not working. Why is it not working? Oops. Unclick. View hide admin. Is that really calling a function? It's cancel log here. 1, 2, 3. When I click that cancel, it's not displaying anything. It's not, they're not binding together. Oh, unclick. I'm missing a C here. All right, I see the arrow. Let's remove this cancel log. When I click the cancel, let's hide it. All right, it's really working right now. I can go to click admin and click cancel. Let's hide it and show it. All right, so let's commit my changes. I just made something new and I want to commit it. Git and dot. Git commit. Admin form is ready. Right, I committed my change. And right now I can start working about like how do I using those things to change my current data of my image. All right. So let's think about it. The first thing, like when the user enters something here and click submit, we need to grab what the user entered here, right? We're gonna care about like what the user put here, and then use that to update what we have in the model. So it's just like the bookmarker. We're gonna record the user's input here. Let's go to the view part. This is my view, right? This is my view. It's gonna add something to it. Let's see. We will record the user input, like current name. It's just we're gonna record the current name. Record the current. Okay, just call it a new name. Or just input name. It's called input name. It makes more sense. Input image and input clicks. Just some initial value to it. It doesn't really matter because we're going to change it every time when the user types something. All right, and then we're going to adding event listener to those three things. Whenever user enters something, we're going to change those values. So let's have those functions. Name function, like a name change is equal to a function. It's just going to take the new name and change this. What it starts is just to change this input name equals to the given name, and we have the image change. Just change the function about takes the image source, takes a new source, and it's gonna change this input image. Let's go to the new source user GIF. And we have the clicks change. It is changing this input clicks is equal to the clicks user input here, right? So I have 3 functions ready, and next thing is adding event listener to those inputs. Right, so let's add event listener to those 3 inputs. And for the first input, it's going to on key up is equals to call the function view the what function is called name change, right? Is that called name change? Input name, and passing this value, right? Input name, oh, not input name. Sorry, it's a name change. What I'm thinking. Call function view the name change and passing this value. Let's copy that and then choose all of them. So this one is for the image. On key up is going to call image change. Did I break it? 1 second. On key up. What? Why is this not working? Let's just type it by myself. On key up is equals to view the image change and takes this value. And I have the clicks. On key up, view the clicks change, takes this value. Alright, let's see. Clicks change, any change. Hopefully it's gonna work. Let's try to add some console log here, see if that really works. Let's see, console.log. This the input name. It's gonna console log out. And this is gonna have a console.log. This the input image. And this is gonna have a console.log. This the input clicks. I want to see if this really change stuff. Right? Reload the page, and the main panel. It's typing a name here. I have a name here. It's going to show that. And this one, cat image source. It also works. And the number of clicks. It works. Nice. So all 3 of them are listening the user input right now. Gonna delete the console log just for test purpose. All right, so then when I submit the form, I need to handle the current input I have here. So we're gonna have a function on submit. Let's just call it name like change cat. It's called a function change cat. No, not change cat. This one not gonna change the cat. This is just gonna handle the getting the user input and give it to the octopus. Just on submit. Let's go to function. What it does is going to firstly we're gonna create a new cat. Is equal to name is equal to the input name. Yeah, let's not start it with empty. Actually, let's start it empty right now. It's okay. I have the image is equal to this input image. and clicks is equal to this clicks. Not click. This is the input clicks. So this is what the cat has: a name, image, and clicks. All right. So I have those three things. All right. And then we're gonna call a function in Octopus. We're gonna call Octopus the change cat and giving that new cat to it. And when do we call this onSubmit? Is whenever this form is onSubmit. So I have onSubmit. It's gonna call the function view the onSubmit function. Whenever I submit the form, I'm gonna call this function. And don't forget to use the prevent default to cancel the default setting for submit. Otherwise, it's gonna reload the page every time. I don't want it to reload the page. Just prevent from default. And change cat. Change cat is a function in the Octopus which is gonna change the cat in the array. So let's go to the here saying function change cat. It's a new function. Have a comma here to separate them. It takes a cat. Hold on, give me a second. On submit, it creates a new cat and change it, but they don't really know like what is the old cat is. So let's take the two cat here. Takes the old cat and the new cat. I'm gonna change the old one into a new one. And the constant old cat is equals to the old one. How do I get the old one? Well, I have the display. Well, I have the display. It's really hard getting the old one. To getting the old cat. Let's just get the old cat name. Old name. Looking for the cat with the same name. Old name is equal to display the children, right? Getting its display is the whole DOM. Going to getting the name inside it. Oh, it's really hard. How do I get it? Oh, let me firstly take a look, inspect it, see the layout, the structure of it. I have the H1 here, getting the H1 of it. And the H1 has a name of it. Let's say we go into JavaScript, get element child. How do I get it? And just get it by number, right? And just do it by this way. It's the same way he does. So it will be a display the child nodes, and the first one, the text content, right? This is what I need. Let's console log it. Make sure I get in the right one. I'm not sure if it does. Old name. And passing the old name. Actually, it's commented out right now. Just console log the old name right now. See if that works. And this function. All right. Let's see if that works. Let's try to console log it. And let's try to console log it. So I have a cat showing here. And when I have the admin panel here, when I click submit, oops, that gave me an error. Let's see what the error is. I didn't see it clearly. Reference for that, for what? Oh, either reference. Oh, I see. It's because of the, I didn't have the event ready here. Let's have the, where is on submit? On submit is right here. Either prevent. I didn't pass the event here. This should work. Let's try it. Oops, still not working. Yeah, reload the page. I cannot say it. It's really fast. I cannot say it, but let me. I think it's just the prevent default is not working. Maybe I just write it wrong. Let's see. Prevent default. Yeah, this is how to. Yeah, I didn't write it wrong. It's correct. Why it's not working? Oh, because that's not a. I see. It's not a. It's not a event listener, so it's not working. Well, let's change that to event listener. So only event listener can use an event. So let's give an ID to this form. So gonna add an event listener to that form. In the init, right? In the init, let's add that. Listen form, create a function for that. And in my view, I should have a listen form function. Select the ID form and event listener. Is this how I add submit? JavaScript event listener for submit. Yeah, just listen to submit. Yeah, it's correct. And then when I submit it, I want to call the function on submit. It's going to be this on submit. All right, let's see if that works. It's pretty annoying. This is not easy. This is a little bit challenging for especially for the beginners. So let's have a submit. Right, I have Andy clicks. What? The name is supposed to be David. Why it is Andy clicks? Where is my on submit? On submit, it's right here, and its old name is this with the children's node. What is children's node? Let's take a look at that. This is current div. Oh, no, that's not what I want. I want to get in the Andy here. Children nodes there. Children nodes. 0 dot children nodes. Child nodes 0 and dot text content. There may be a stupid way to select it, but actually it should work. Yeah, it's getting Charlie. And oops, it gets Bob. Yeah, it actually works. And the Effie, oh, I got the name. Alright, I got the name, and I will be able to call the function to replace it with a new cat. Alright, so let's do it. So I have the change cat here. It takes a old name and a new cat. So I'm gonna do it for cat of modules the cats. If cat the name is equal to the old name, what we're gonna do here is saying cat is equal to the not cat. This one just go change this name to new cat. Let's say we're gonna change the cat is equal to the new cat, and also we're gonna re-render the current cat. So we're gonna have we'll call the function to re-render it. View the render cat. Right, we'll have a function called render cat to render the whole cat. Alright, let's try it. It's annoying. Let's see. So let's open the Andy image here, and I open the admin menu here. The current cat name is, let's change the name into Alice. The cat's image source, I want to change that into bob.jpg. Number of clicks into 12. Submit. Models is not defined. I think I call it model, not models. Model. Yep. Let's try it again. So open the Andy here, admin panel, and we'll have the cat name here showing Alice, bob.jpg, and the 12 clicks. Submit. Name of undefined. Line 101. Our render cat takes a cat. Render cat does takes a cat. So let's pass in the current cat to it. Alright. Let's try it again. Open Andy, open admin, and change the cat into Alice, image into bob.jpg, and the number click 12. Submit it. Clicks undefined. It cannot find the picture. Ah, that's interesting. Let's see. I think it's a new cat. Let's see. Seems like it's not working correctly on the onSubmit function here. Right, so let's firstly try to console log this new cat. Let's see if like getting the new cat passing to there. I'll check it step by step. So I have the 111, 222, 223, submit. It's undefined, undefined, and undefined. It's not really passing it in. What is going on here? Maybe I need to change it to view. Right, it works. Right, so I think because I add event listener, and it's just instead of okay, when I do an event listener, it's not just the scope is changing, it's changing to the event listener scope, and it's going to get in the event, but then I really have the current. It's not in the view anymore. So we're going to call the view instead of this. It seems like it works. Let's try it. So I have Andy ready here, and if I just call admin panel, change it name into Andy's source equal to bob.jpg and clear 12, click submit. Let's change it. Let's say it's change it. Does change it. And then when I change it to like anything else, like David, and I can actually using an image online. Let's take an image, cat image. Like maybe I'll change it to this image. This one. It's too big. Let's make it look a smaller one, like this one. Using this one. Copy image address, and I will be able to use that to replace it. Put that here. Change it to 99. Submit. What? It's not working. What? Are you kidding me? Let me see. The does conjugate and the does run the change can't. Right, maybe I cannot using the for off loop here. It's just using the normal for loop here, because it's not modified. Maybe this one doesn't modify the item in the for loop. Let's try to using the normal for loop here. For variable let I equals to 0, I smaller than model the cats the length I plus plus. If model cats ice item the name is equal to old name, we're gonna change model cats I into the new one, and here we're gonna render it depends on the model cats I. Let's try it again. Let's reload it. Right, so Andy, click it works admin, change it to 12. This is Bob the JPG, and this one is just any name I like. Right, it works. And try to change it to source of another one again. Change it to 24. Name equal to 123. Submit. It works. Yeah, it works right now. Change name to 31. Number clicks of something weird. Submit. It works. Right. But I forget to change the name in the list. I also need to change the name in the list. Otherwise, it's not gonna. I need to call the. I render the cat. I also need to render the list again. View the render list item. It depends on the cat. Sorry, I can render list again too. So try it again. Andy. Admin. Name 123. Image source. Bob. Num click 22. Submit. Render list is not working. I think I need to change the render list a little bit. Render list item. Just render not this function. This function just render a new one. I just want to render the whole list. I have the initial list here, right? I have init list here. For this one, I need to clear the current init list and re-render it. I have a click cat. Let's create clear list. That's going to be. Do I have the list selected here? I have the cat list here. Cat list. I just gonna reset it. Where is that? Cat list in HTML is equal to empty. Reset it. So every time when I change the name of client in here, we're gonna call the not here. Init list. I need to call the view the clear list. And I just inside I'm gonna call init list here again inside here with the cats model the cats. Looks like should be correct right now. Right, let's try it. So I have admin open. Where is my list? Cat list is not defined. What? On line 110 here. Oh, it should be this cat list. Right. Alright, I have the cat image open, administrator panel open. Let's have a cat name here saying Bob. Image is Bob the JPG, not Bob, just Bob123. Have a non-name. And I'm click 44. You see, this name here also changed. Right? I will be able to click them. And also I can use in any other names, and when I submit it, it's gonna change it. Same thing. This one I can change it to the same name or some name else. I didn't clear the form, so let's still keep the data I put here. Every time when you submit, you may want to clear the form. It's pretty easy. So just go to the on submit. Let's clear the form. Right, so it's just going to be clear form function. Right, it's going to call the view the clear form function, and which is going to clear the form. The form is really easy. So what it does is basically just set up the three values into its empty value, right? So there's three into empty value. So it's going to be this input equal to empty value, and this input image equal to another empty value, and this input clicks equal to empty equal to 0, right? That's how it clears. And every time we submit, it's going to call this clear form to clear it. Right. So I'm going to stop right here on this project. Basically, that's everything you need to do. Right. And you may want to come with a different design or something like that, or something similar. Right. So we're going to stop right here. Let's just send our code to the GitHub. I know it's not perfect. It still have something we need to avoid, but just basically the idea is already enough to let you understand how important the design of a project is and how we're gonna separate depends on the different concerns. So the git and dot. Finish. Git push. Now you should be able to see my code in my GitHub. And we're going to continue on this video.
those last few processes were probably a bit easier than what Andy went through. I mean, you saw the pain in his face when the requirements changed and when he was reflecting on the process. If you organize things well, it's much easier to add things later, and that's the point. Separation of concerns is great, especially when you do it well. Now, sadly, not all projects are organized well. Every company has legacy code, even Udacity. So how do we deal with it? We're going to take a few minutes to rest our brains, and we'll hear from some experts on our software development team here at Udacity. They all have a ton of experience with writing good code, but also have to spend time bringing legacy code up to date. We'll talk to Nick and Jacques about two opposing methods for bringing code up to date. I'm sitting here with Nick Hartman. He's one of our front-end web developers. Thanks for sitting with me.
Absolutely.
So tell me a little bit about refactoring. What's one way that you might go about it?
So refactoring is the process by which you take a piece of code and make it more readable or more maintainable without changing its functionality. So that means you might want to break up large functions or complicated functions without changing the way that they're accessed by the outside world or the other components of your application.
Got it. So basically you're taking the organization, which we'll say in this case is already all right, and you're taking these big, unmaintainable, or difficult to understand functions and you're breaking them up. But it's important not to change things in terms of the way the components interact with each other, right?
Precisely. This makes sure that you increase readability, maintainability, and ease of working with your code, but without breaking the contract that you have between you and the other developers you're working with.
And the contract that the pieces of the app have with each other as well.
Exactly.
Awesome. That sounds like a good method. Thanks for sitting with me.
Absolutely.
So he's just doing what we were trying to do, right? We just breaks our big functions into smaller functions, and also we didn't actually change the how the function should do. It's still doing the same thing, but we just reorganized it. Well, our organize is like a lot of work. Like we just basically breaks everything and rewrite it.
I'm sitting here with Jacques, one of our lead front-end web developers. Hi.
Hi.
So I was talking with Nick about re-architecting a little bit. You know, like you've got some code, it's not necessarily up to snuff, and you know, you just move things around a little bit to get it up to snuff, right? So what if I were to give you a piece of code that's like that but worse?
You could sort of still keep parts of it, around and sort of get into the modules or the separations that you're interested in, and then replace those pieces as you work on them. So if the code's not stuff that you want to keep around, separating it out means that you get to burn little pieces of it at a time and replace them and upgrade them and make them better.
That makes sense. So what if I give you some code that's even worse than that? Like, let's just say big message spaghetti code.
If you can't tease it apart, or if there aren't good ideas that you'd like to keep, just burn it to the ground. Just take it all away and rebuild that functionality.
Just like that. Wow. Okay. So I guess you're giving me permission to burn horrible spaghetti code to the ground.
Absolutely. You will thank yourself in the future.
What if it's worse than that?
Give me space. Have a friend delete it for you.
Don't even look at it.
No.
Just, okay. So wonderful. Now you have permission to delete horrible, awful spaghetti code from your project. So you actually have done this?
Yeah.
Have you ever nuked something from space?
Between Nick and I, we have done that absolutely. Hey, could you get rid of all of that? I'll replace it.
Oh, boy. Fantastic. Or
terrible, yeah.
Terrible.
Bit of both.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sitting with me and talking about this.
Absolutely.
Now that we've heard from some experts, let's take some time to put their advice into practice. On the next screen, you'll get the repository information for a not-so-well-designed school attendance application. Clone it to your machine, check out how it's working, and refactor it. Make it awesome. Now, it would be up to you to decide how to go about this. Is this code completely a mess? Is this a burn it down and rewrite it from scratch situation? Or are there pieces that are salvageable? Remember, before you start doing, take a moment to figure out how it's working and what's good and bad about the code as it is. Evaluate how much needs to change and figure out your strategy. Once you're done, we'll talk to the author of this code and see what their motivations were for building it the way they did.
So what they have is a school attendance application. It's like I can tell you, it's really a mess. It's everything is like a stick together, and they just manually created this hard coded this table. Let me just download this one to show you how it looks like. Right. So this is GitHub. We just need to clone it and to download it. Let's get back here. Git clone, download it from that repository. Right, so it's right here. So if I just double click, open it, this is how it looks like. It's basically an attendance program, allows you to check the attendance of it, and it's going to be count how many checks you have it on the right. The functionality is great, but the code is really like a mess. So let's go over the code quickly. So this is the application. Yep. So this is index HTML. You can see like the table is hard coded with like a table head 1 to 12 and the table data like all hard coded here. It's not generated from dynamically from the model. It's not getting data from model. It's just hard coded for it like one by one. And also let's take a look at the JavaScript file. The functions here are not separated. It's just put all the functions together into one. So it's like all like a mess of together. It's really easy if we want to do it by ourselves, like just getting the data from the model and generate a TD at once, and then adding the listener. Whenever you change the item here, you're gonna just change the number. Depends on that. So it's really not hard, but the way they did it, it's really like a mess. So if you are interested in that one, you can just go over it when you have time. And right now, we're just gonna continue, skip the way the process of it.
Now, before we meet the person who built this horrible code, and you may know him, first I'd love to hear from you about your experience. Did you mostly use the burn it method or the refactor in place method?
Right, we're gonna just continue here.
I'm sitting here with Mike, one of the web developers at Udacity.
Actually, hold on. Actually, I think there's one more video hiding here. When I submit the answer, it should show a video. Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what I did. I burned it all down and started completely over.
Oh, it's nothing.
Now, I want to reiterate, I didn't write this code. In fact, let's meet the person who did.
Yeah, it's nothing unusual. Just seeing.
I'm sitting here with Mike, one of the web developers at Udacity. I heard you wrote some pretty bad code recently.
Yeah, that was quite neat.
Yeah, I actually remember because I gave you that bad code assignment.
We did.
So basically, in a nutshell, what did I tell you?
We came up with an app idea, and you just told me, all right, now forget all things you know to do right, and do it wrong, and try to make it a rough experience.
So build the spaghetti code app.
Build a spaghetti code app.
And how did you feel?
I was really excited because I knew I didn't have to maintain this thing. I was just going to crank out an application for you really quick, get it done in an hour or two, and just get code on the screen and feel super productive. So I was kind of excited to not have to put a whole lot of brain power to it and just do it.
Yeah, it's kind of old habits.
Right.
Because everyone kind of learns spaghetti code and then learns how to organize their code later on.
It reminded me of 10 years ago, like the type of work I was doing.
So, you had this app, you didn't have to maintain it, you felt great about it. How did you feel by the end?
Pretty bad.
Really, why?
Well, it was a miserable experience when it got to the end. There was a
baseline too early, well, you get scraped up, right? And things get really bad, and it takes a lot more effort to go in and finish the race.
That's a very good metaphor.
I basically told you to die right out of the starting block.
Right. Yeah, I thought I was done with the application before I had ever even started it, really. And so I was just trying to get stuff done. And I thought I was taking my time, like really plan it out ahead of time and know what I was going to do throughout everything. It would have been a much more enjoyable experience.
All right, so if you want to blame someone for this experience, you can blame me.
You told me to do it.
If you want to blame someone for this experience, you can blame me. Awesome. Well, thanks, Mike, for sitting with me. Hey, nice work fixing up Mike's awful, awful code. I still blame him, even though I may have told him to do it. By now, you should feel pretty good about yourself. Let me give you some context. Oftentimes, when people learn separation of concerns, they learn it by using a framework or a library, like Angular or Ember or Meteor or Backbone or Knockout. There are a lot of them. And some of them start to think of separation of concerns as something that you need a framework or a library to do, but not you. All the stuff we've been doing has been vanilla JavaScript and jQuery. No organizational frameworks at all. That's more than can be said for a lot of novice developers. So, awesome, awesome job. Now, from what we've seen, any project that updates the DOM based on data with JavaScript can be refactored to use separation of concerns. So now we're moving on to our last project for this lesson. You may have built the resume project in a previous course. I've linked the course in the instructor notes below. If you took that course, we'll be refactoring your project to be more awesome. If you didn't take that course, I'll give you the repo for the associated project. We've seen that any project that updates the DOM based on data using JavaScript can be refactored to use separation of concerns. So that's what we'll be doing for the resume. Now you'll have less guidance on this project and more autonomy and flexibility, which is exactly how things are in the development world. So, if you have code of your own, make a new branch in your resume project repository. We're making a new branch so we still have the original version. Do all of your work in that new branch. If you don't have code of your own, check out the repository down in the instructor notes below and take a look at the README file so you can figure out how to do the project, keeping separation of concerns in mind. Then, refactor the project to properly utilize separation of concerns. This might be as simple as providing a view object with a render function on it and ensuring you don't mutate the model from it. Remember all the different ways we can refactor, either by modifying the current files as they are, or doing some version of burning it and rewriting.
Alright, we're not going to go over that. It's going to be intro to JavaScript, of course. I think we also went over about that. I'm not sure. Did we go over that? Maybe not. Did we? Whatever. So this one is basically just doing a resume project, and this one is to ask you to try to using what we just learned, like to separate the concerns of the functions into view occupators and the model. We're just gonna skip that, and that's it for the lesson 2.
You've gone through a lot by this point. You've written an application with separation of concerns in mind, and you've also added a completely unexpected feature to it. That is nothing to sneeze at. That's impressive. Now, Rockstar developers will often write code entirely in JavaScript with no organizational library, and that's what we just did. So seriously, give yourself a pat on the back. It's impressive. Sometimes, though, it is useful to use an organizational framework or library to give you the features you need without needing to do a ton of work at the beginning. We'll learn how to use one of them and what they name their octopus. So, keep going, keep the momentum up, you're doing great, and there's some really fun stuff coming up.
Alright, we're gonna stop it right here, and we have 2 more lessons we're gonna go over tomorrow. Tomorrow we're gonna start. So right now we haven't using any libraries yet, and we're just trying to separate the concerns by ourselves. And tomorrow we're going to try to using some organizational libraries to help us to separate the concerns. You see like how it's gonna make your life easier to do stuff.
So yeah, so we're gonna stop right here, and we still have about 1 hour left. So if you have any questions, you can try to review what we just learned today and ask me any questions if you have, and also.